turret, is a level 50 late game DPS tower with a maximum of 430 DPS at max level. Though, you can only place 3 of them at once. This tower is very simple, no crazy gimmicks to make it interesting. This is quite refreshing considering there are a lot of very gimmicky towers already. Oh, this tower also doesn't have stun. Alright, we've already tried 32 accelerators against Awakened Fallen King, and it struggled to kill it. Mostly because of the stun abuse Hidden Wave has. Now I wonder if turret can do the same or perhaps better. Unlike accelerator, turret doesn't have that annoying recharge mechanic, that can get very annoying when the tower is stunned. So if turret is stunned and gets cleansed by medic, it will instantly start shooting. Though it can still get stunned again, but it's better than dealing literally 0 damage after being unstunned. Also, we have better towers now that could help turret a lot, like the reworked Sledger. Now each turret has 430 DPS, totaling to 5160 DPS from all turrets placed by every player. This is not enough against the overwhelming horde of Hidden Wave, so we would need buffs from support towers. First, the iconic duo, Commander and DJ, for their 50% fire rate buff and 20% damage buff. DJ's range will also help a lot with turret 2 for better coverage. We're gonna be bringing double DJ so we can boost our turret's range by 25% instead of 12.5%. These towers alone increases our turret's max DPS from 430 to 750 DPS. That's 9000 DPS from 12 turrets. Another 20% more damage buff from Mercenary Base and we get 875 DPS per turret, totaling to 10,500 DPS from all 12 turrets. That's not all, we also have Firework Technician who can add a little bit more DPS by its fireworks. Though it's chance-based, it's hard to get the exact amount. Secondly, we need Stallers and Defense Melters to weaken Awakened Fallen King's defense, and slow down the horde so our turrets have enough time to kill them. When I mean slow down, actually just perma-stun some enemies with the bug. Sledger should easily stop the fallen tanks, and fallen honor guards. Pyromancer, Freezer, and Electroshocker for melting Awakened Fallen King's defense, or reducing it to nothing. Lastly, the placements. We gotta make sure most of the turrets can cover the front so they can quickly kill Fallen King, and also not get stun abused by the enemies at front early on. We also gotta plan where to place our supports, DJ, Commander, and Firework Technician at the center. Mercenary bases next to the turrets with one of them placed at the back. This is so I don't have to move a mercenary base at the back in preparation for microing turrets there. Some sledgers at front to stall fallen honor guards early on, and some close to the middle for fallen tanks. This should help us stay organized. How did we lower our HP to 1? Well, it's just the same as any other way I did. Kill wave 1 and 2, and deal 35 damage in total against wave 3 and 4. Using Freezer cause it deals 1 damage per shot. Wave 3 and 4 should be enough to drop our HP exactly at 1. Hopefully nothing stupid happens in that stage. Yup. On the first attempt, we were unorganized with our placements. Quite irritating to see. We continued anyways. We forgot we didn't have enough DPS against flying enemies. 2 electroshocker players should do the trick. I'm not trusting one mercenary base at the back to finish the angels, since they could randomly die from Awakened Fallen King's Spike Rain ability, or Abominable Barrage ability. That was really close. We would have won if my friend hadn't disconnected, but it's still unfortunate. Without any technical issues, this attempt should be it. It performed kinda similar to Accelerator, but a little bit easier since I don't have to move 8 towers at the back, and the fact that we got better towers to support turrets. Although it's the bug abuse that carried this game by a lot.